Heavenly Father, we thank you for right now. Father, we thank you for Sarah. Father, we ask that you hold her, protect her, let her open up, Father. Let her story, let the story of her family, Father, grab that one person that needs to hear it. Father, we ask give her comfort, knowing that she is saving a soul, Father, that she's helping people. Father, give her comfort, give her relief of some of the things that she's talking about. Father, I ask that you sit with Rob and I, Father, and you help us work through this with her, that this story is told like you want it told. Father, we thank you for Bonnie and Katie, that they have the time to sit with us. Father, we ask all this in your name. Amen. Good work.
Welcome back to Recovery Unfiltered. It's Rob and Larry in your ear again. We don't need letters before or after our names. Just two drums with a lot on our brains. Sit back, relax, let us carry the load. We walk that dark.
What? Shut up, Bonnie. It's groovy. What the hell? Don't get mad at me.
I've never heard this one before.
You haven't heard that yet?
No.
Oh, you didn't listen to the podcast last week.
No, I didn't. Is this a new one?
You hadn't heard that yet. It's groovy. Don't be making fun of me, Bonnie. I want to make fun of you for holding your damn mic right. Good grief.
I don't want it right next to my face.
Oh, God. Welcome back. Look at Bonnie's as big a turd as you are.
Yes, you would think I get it. Hey, but I got to do one aside. This is for John H.
Oh, boy.
In this podcast, you will hear the word God and a four-letter word in the same sentence. If that offends you, and or if you're easily offended, this podcast is not
for you.
Go somewhere else. Okay.
Was he upset that we weren't saying that, or
He
what?
just misses it. He liked that part.
Hold on.
Go back to the old ones and he could hear it anytime he wants.
You sit on the toilet, don't you?
Good. Did he miss that one?
No, the first ones were the whole God.
I know. Katie hates when I play that one. That's funny. Anyways, welcome back. Yes, we are back with Rob, with my guest, my boy, and then Bonnie. And we have an absolute amazing guest that's with us today. I've been after this one for a while. Good gosh, I've been praying about this one. And we're going to get to her in just a moment. What did you start to say?
Who's the gentleman? Blair? I sent you out an email.
Yep, Blair.
Do a little shout out to that guy.
So we had
I'm sober. It's awesome.
Yeah, Blair. Then I had another Blair hit me out. Then there was the other guy that from Texas, from Ferris, was it, babe? Ferris, Texas. He hit me back again. You know what's fun, and I may end up doing this. You know how we have the chat group for our men's group? Yeah. I think I'm going to start a chat group with our listeners, because these guys are like, so I got Brian, Blair, what's the guy's name in Ferris? I'm sorry. Richard. You know, I've got all these guys that I'm texting on the side back and forth, and we're talking with each other. And I'm like, shit, we just need to start a chat group with all these guys,
well, you
right?
Can throw Jim in that too.
Throw Jim in that, yeah. Right. So it'd be fun, right? So we'll see what happens. Anyways, you know what's funny is like so he put his phone number down. He's like, I can't believe I'm texting with you. I'm like, good God, I'm just a dummy from Waterford.
Boy, yeah. That's right there. Truer words haven't been spoken.
Shut up, Dick. Anyway, so I'm going to get on to our guest, right? This is one that is, and I'm going to give me a moment, because this one may or may not take me a second. So Sarah's dad and I coached together years back. I want to say 2012, 2010. I started coaching, right?
Yeah, before then.
Yeah, I think the time frame. So I started coaching in what, babe?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I started coaching in Waterford at 2004. I'd been there for a few years, and then Steve came in, and this guy came in, very large personality, right? And in the precipice, I'm thinking I'm using that word correctly, of my addiction, right? I'm starting. I mean, I'm in first gear on my addiction. I'm watching this guy, and he, it's just, he's very out loud, right? He's very a lot. And, you know, and I told Rob before we get started, I'm like, I owe you guys in the men's, right? Because here this guy came in, I felt was an outsider from Houston. It's like, why is this Houston?
Huskies.
Mm-hmm.
Why is these Houston guys here? And it was not healthy for the relationship of Steve and what he was trying to do. I mean, he was just wanting to help the kids. Now looking back on it, I mean, I was a dick. And that wasn't just me. There was a lot of us there, right? And he ended up coaching though. He ended up taking over the JV program. He ended up coaching the baseball. He was a huge part of that program, huge part of it. And you know what? And if I could have learned anything from him, I wish I would have early. So, I mean, it was just, I look back on that now and realize that where I was at, I was starting mine. Where he was at, he was probably at the height of his.
100%.
Yeah. So anyways, Sarah, we haven't really talked about how you wanted to go through this story, right? Because I wanted you to go through this. When Miranda and McKenna came on, I wanted to see my addiction through their eyes, right? And it came out well for them, right? And we've had a couple other wives on, we've had a couple other sons on, we've had, and this is the one where I was like, wow, this gentleman took it to the bitter end, right? And as we spoke, right, as you and I spoke, I saw there was a lot there, right? So I'm gonna let you go, right?
Well, and a lot of our stories
oh yeah,
had happy endings.
yeah,
This was not.
No.
So this is something because this happened. To be quite honest, this happens more often than our case.
oh yeah, for sure,
When it comes to addiction.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
And don't get me wrong, I wanted to quit so many times and be like, no, I can't do this.
see, God just
know?
kept pushing you.
And I think that's what happened back in October, even though it's been, 18 years.
Wow, has it been that long?
It's been a long time.
Whew. How old were you 18 years ago?
I was 15.
Oh, wow.
No, they were babies.
Yeah.
They were babies.
I was 15. Samantha, my middle sister, was 17. She was a senior. I was a sophomore. And then my oldest sister, Melissa, we're 10 years apart. And so she was 25.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, even 18 years later, I don't like talking about my dad. It makes me very, very angry and
Okay.
bitter and just a lot of hatred.
Okay.
And so I think just fear. And if I open these floodgates, that it wasn't going to be able to close again.
Right.
know?
But Sarah, can we talk about what you do for a living?
Yeah.
Can we get that out front before so people as they're listening to this understand where you ended up? So tell us what you do now.
So I work in the field of drug and alcohol at a rehabilitation facility, inpatient. I don't counsel anymore.
Okay. But you did.
I did for a long, long time. Now I'm just more like supervisor. So I always thought growing up that I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life. And then when this happened, it's funny because I'm probably the most like my dad, and I hated that.
Wow. How old are you when you realized that?
Oh gosh, young, before he died.
Wow.
Yeah, before he died. And I was just angry, and I was like, I'm never going to be like him. And I ended up being probably the most like him personality-wise.
Like drugs too?
No,
okay.
minus the addiction.
Okay.
But mine took shape in different forms.
Just the isms.
Yes.
Rob.
Severe OCD.
Wow.
Just debilitating. That started probably a year or two before he died.
Okay.
Where I didn't want to leave the house because I had all these rituals, and I thought
Wow.
I thought that's what I could control, because I could
Right.
never control
Right.
his moods, his anything. And so I figured, okay, if I can hyper focus on this and control this, then everything will be good.
Well, you have some stability.
some sense of stability, absolutely. But little did I know that's not the case, and it controls you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So that
Were you living with him?
not when he died.
Okay. All right.
So I guess going back to the beginning, him and my mom were together for a long time. I think probably 18, 20 years.
One more question. He was also a police officer. Okay.
And I feel like probably this is where everything
Okay.
turned.
Were you going to get to that part of it before it? God
You're
damn it,
totally
Larry!
fine.
Shut up.
You're fine. You're good. Yeah, so I don't ever remember him being a police officer. He was a police officer before I was born, and then got out of it. I think before I was born too.
Okay.
I don't know how long he was a police officer for. But him and my mom, they divorced when I was 3. he was just not good to my mom whatsoever. And I think she stayed in it for as long as she could because she wanted to protect us and, give us some sort of stability. But he ended up leaving, and then he got married to my stepmom. They eloped and they went to Mexico. And
How old were you then?
4.
Oh, so it was quickly.
Yeah, very, very quickly.
So is this, given her age, he's older than us then?
Little bit. He's not.
How
How old was he when he passed?
he was 49. So he
about the
would
same
have
age.
been
No,
Oh no, I'm sorry. You're
he's
right.
60. He's going to be 60 years old.
Yeah. Well, he's only 5 years older than me.
because my mom is 63 and he was a year or two older than my mom, so he would have been 64, 65.
So he was a little bit. Okay.
Yeah. So no, he was cheating on my mom and then left and eloped and went to Mexico.
Did you know he was cheating on your mom
No,
at
I
that
was-
age?
no.
What age were you when you
3.
found that out? No,
She
when
was
you
3
found,
when
no, that was when the divorce. What age were you when you found out your dad was cheating on your mom?
I don't know. It never really was kind of talked about. Like that part
Okay.
is like a blur to me.
Okay.
I just remember
Because that had to be a lot of
there.
trauma.
Oh,
Yeah, that had to be a lot of trauma.
Yeah. I just remember she was just there, and she did not want kids. She hated kids.
Wow.
So that was fun. She was never like mean to us, but she just you're there. Like she liked the dog more than she liked us. So, but we have a great relationship now. She went through as much abuse as the rest of us. So I mean, we're friends on Facebook, and she'll message us and happy birthday and all that. I have no ill will against her.
Gotcha.
So he left, and I don't remember going kind of back and forth at that time. So when where we grew up in a modular home on a ranch. My grandparents lived in front. We lived in the back, and I say all the time, if it wasn't for my mom, my grandpa, and my stepdad, I wouldn't be here today.
Wow. Okay.
They're the reason that I kept going and kept fighting, because I didn't want to let them down. Gosh.
You're okay then. Trust me. Listen, we don't do this purposely for that. We do this for the healing, not only you, right? Just like I said, we all knew that this was going to be difficult. We all did, right? It's just like I said, just know God is with you, protecting. Absolutely. So please be comfortable with your feelings. Okay.
For once, I usually will have like a ton of anxiety leading up to something, and I felt kind of at peace this week.
Good.
I have an amazing coworker who has really helped me kind of let go of things.
Good.
And she's worked in mental health for a long, long time, and she's 22 years sober. And she just came to my office one day, and she was like, "Hey, I pray for you all the time, but what do you need prayers for specifically?"
Wow.
And I was just like, "Oh, okay."
Well, let's talk about it.
Let's go. So our friendship kind of developed from there, and then Stephanie, who you all know, who I love dearly.
She was just on.
Yeah,
She's awesome.
who I love dearly, just came back into my life, and she was actually at my work a few weeks ago, and so at that time, I think my coworker got to meet her, and I was like, "Oh, Stephanie did this podcast," and they asked me last year, and I was like, I don't know.
You ghosted me last year.
Did, fair enough.
Damn it.
And so when I was talking to my coworker about it, she was like, "Well, why wouldn't you want to go on? Why wouldn't you want to just let go and heal? Like we're in the business of healing.
How free do you want to be?
Exactly.
How free do you want to be?
And I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch." So she was like, "Okay, let's do this. Give me your first negative memory, and we'll kind of process it." And I was like, "Okay, thanks."
Wow.
And so, I work Sunday through Thursday. She's Monday through Friday. And so she was like, "Monday, when I get in at 9:00, you get in before me, as soon as I get here, let's process it." And I did. And it wasn't as hard as I expected it to be. And then so from there on out, things kind of just kept falling into place. And then,
Welcome to a sponsorship, honey. That's what's called a sponsorship, right?
Yeah.
That's what that is.
Yep. So then I got messages from Stephanie, and I was like, all right. So then I listened to Stephanie's episode, and her first one was rough. And I knew Stephanie and I were best friends in high school.
Okay.
I would spend the night at her
Wow.
house.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
That's pretty
Small
cool.
world.
It's small. It's all wrapping
Oh,
back
yeah.
around, right?
Yeah, I would spend the night at her house. We played softball together. Her parents would take us to our away games, all this stuff. And so when she went through her addiction, like, I lost my best friend. And where it was rumored where she was at the time, I would drive that way to work. And so I would leave for work earlier, kind of go look for her and then what have you. And then we ran into each other at the Oakdale Farmers Market last year. And I just saw her and I started bawling.
Was she was clean,
She was
just a
just,
short,
just starting
Yeah.
short for you. She's right
it's
in
been
it.
a year. She was just because she just turned one.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I was with my daughter, and then she was like, "Who is that, Mommy?" And I just couldn't speak.
Wow.
Stephanie and I were just crying, and so we exchanged numbers, and then
Gave me chills.
yeah, it was amazing. And so I feel like from then on out, I'm like, okay, this is, if she can do this, I can do this, because that girl has
Right.
been through so much.
Yes. Her story is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
But look where she's at.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
She's
I'm
free.
so-
She's free.
so happy for her. And she's with one of my old coworkers.
We're
and I just,
anxious to get him on here too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's coming.
Yeah.
yeah,
He is.
love him. So I love that they're together, and I love that she's healed, because it's helping me heal.
Yeah.
And so
Good for you.
yeah,
Good,
her
good.
and I were talking yesterday too, and so yeah, it's been a journey.
Good.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So growing up in the trailer.
Yeah. Sorry. All
You're
over-
fine.
all
No,
over the- all
you know
over
what?
the
And that's
place.
where this thing goes. I'm telling you. And I told you that, Sarah. We'll get behind these microphones. We just go.
Yeah.
Right. We don't give a shit what rabbit hole we go down. A lot of times those rabbit holes are fun.
They're the best
right?
part. They're the best
They
part.
are the best part. Right. So we go.
Yeah, so he got married. We kind of bounced around. I think we lived in Ceres at one point. And then we had always lived in Houston with my mom. And then he found a house in Houston. And then we were there every Thursday and every other weekend. And I remember at that time, it was fine. Like my oldest sister, she was never around. And she, was older. My parents were getting divorced. She was
How much
angry.
older was she again?
She's 10. My oldest sister
10.
is 10 years
Yeah,
older than
okay.
me. And so, she was learning how to drive and all that. And she saw her out. She got the hell
No,
out.
yeah, for sure.
You know?
She
Yeah. Because
I get that.
she knows a lot, and she went through a lot, and she remembers my mom and my dad arguing, and his mental abuse
She was in the
at
thick
that
of
time.
it. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Samantha and I, not so much. And then, at that point, my mom was a single mom doing everything she could to raise us girls. I remember at times she didn't have enough money to pay the bills, so we all slept in the living room with a wood burning fireplace, and she would get up in the middle of the night and put more wood on it. And summertime, couldn't run the air conditioner. She did everything she could. And we come from a very hardworking farmers and ranchers, and so my grandparents lived in the front. And when my mom was at work, my grandparents watched us, and we were raised out in almond orchards
Right.
and all of that, and I loved it. Yeah.
Those memories are precious memories. Those right there. Who gives a shit how we do it? But mom putting wood in the fire in the middle of the night. Those are just precious memories. Those are good memories.
Yeah.
As hard as it sounds, those are good memories.
Yeah.
Because you see it. Look what we did. We sacrificed. Right.
Oh yeah, she
those aren't
sacrificed
horrible.
everything
Right.
for us.
Right.
Yeah. So I come from the Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah.
I'm on my mom's side, I'm a Hatfield.
Right.
So we had the Hatfields, and then we had the Barkers. And so growing up in Houston in a small town, everyone knew who we were. And my grandma was the librarian for the high school. The high school library is dedicated to her.
Wow.
So we're always under a microscope,
Oh yeah.
whether that's good or bad. I have a lot of cousins, so we all grew up together. And So I always knew growing up, I never wanted to be a barker. Never wanted to be.
Wow.
I hated that name. And so,
Because of what your dad did.
yeah.
Right.
And so, there's 3 of us, and, we were called the Barker Girls, and I hated that. Even like one of my first jobs, the Barker Girls are working today, and I'm like, motherfucker, like, and they're just being sweet
Right.
about it, and here I am just cussing up a storm, like, oh God.
Thank God you got
know?
married and changed that, huh?
Yeah, that's for sure. And so I never knew really like why that anger came out until I was processing it with my coworker. And she's like, well, all of that hatred, it led you to who you are, and you tried so hard to escape it, but you went those routes in some way. And then I remember when my mom met my stepdad, he came out of the picture out of the blue. And thank God for that man, because
Wow.
About how old were you?
they met shortly after my parents' divorce.
Okay.
Okay, so you were 4 or 5.
Yeah. And for a long that's my stepdad is my dad.
Oh, wow.
He raised me and taught me right from wrong. He took on 3 daughters when he had 2 kids of his own.
Wow.
And I remember being angry at that age too, because he would come over and I'd be so confused, and we laugh about it all the time. I would slam the door in his face. And I was like,
Why are you here?
why are you here? And so I would
That's funny.
I always slam the door in his face. And so we laugh and we joke about it now.
So they're still together,
Oh,
obviously.
Yeah. They have been together since I was about 3 or 4. They got married when I was 10, and we moved here to Waterford. And yeah, they've been together ever since. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they just live right over here.
What a good man. That's a lot to take
Takes,
on.
That's a lot.
takes a lot to take on. Oh yeah. And he's a farmer as well, dairy, almonds, all that. Little old Portuguese man. And
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
There's Portuguese in Waterford?
oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We're all over,
Yep.
baby. We're like cow shit in Oakdale
I
everywhere.
thought they only had dairies.
Well, we got dairies. And yeah, dairies and almonds.
Right.
So always grew up hard.
See,
hard
she says it
working.
right.
Yeah.
She said almonds.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
same.
fucking almond. It's an almond.
Almond.
It's an almond.
It's almond.
It's a fucking
It's
almond.
almond.
It's an almond.
Okay, is it salmon or salmon?
Salmon. There's no,
Yeah.
but there's not a fucking L in it. Salmon. Almond. Let's go. She ain't never going to get it.
So, anyways, being a Hatfield and a Barker, you were always under the microscope, and you had to be good. And I learned at a young age, if I wanted my dad's attention, then I better be good at something.
Wow.
And so I turned to sports. I played volleyball, basketball, softball, track, whatever I could do to get his attention. Very much the family roles. My oldest sister was the hero for a long time and the scapegoat. She protected all of us. Samantha was the golden child, and I was always the lost child.
You were the middle?
The youngest.
The youngest.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, the baby.
Welcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that feeling.
Very, very much the lost child.
Right.
And so I remember, going over there on Thursdays and every other weekend. I don't think he was using at that point. He was a police officer, and he got into a shooting where he responded to a domestic violence case, and he had a guy came after him with the butcher knife, and he had to take his life. And I think from then on out, it kind of set the stage for his mental health.
Wow.
And,
Okay. I didn't know that part.
Yeah. And so that did a lot to him. And I think my parents kind of divorced shortly after. And then, so his, anger, and he was raised in a very, very dysfunctional family as well. His parents were full-blown alcoholics. He's the baby as well, so a lot of the lost child,
Oh, yeah. That lost child syndrome.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I and then he worked for Frito-Lay for a long, long time.
That's right.
And hurt his knee. I don't remember how he hurt his knee, but during that time period, you can get as many pills as you wanted.
That was that time.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. That was during that in the early 2000s. Yeah.
Yeah. So he had a few knee surgeries. and that's just where things took off. You know, I've read a quote one somewhere where it's like, if you you get hurt, you have to recover twice. Once from the
True fact.
the whatever happened to
fact.
you, and the other from the pills. And so pills became his best friend. And
Did he drink a lot before that?
No.
Or
And
is this where it started?
that's the pills is where it started. And so my middle sister and I were talking, and I was like, I don't remember Dad drinking very much.
Or doing any other drugs?
Or no, he never did any other drugs. And it was mainly pills, and then she was reminding me it was alcohol towards the end. And so the mix of, you know, Vicodin and Oxys and
That was the Waterford
alcohol.
influence.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, that's when he was hanging around with us a lot. He would start going out to the fruit yard with us and start. That's when he really started hanging around with us. I mean, after we kind of started breaking down some walls, I mean, Steve started hanging around with us quite a bit, and we were drinking, right? Yep.
Yeah, and so that's when things like really took off. He was always kind of an angry person, always, you know, super competitive.
Loved the kids. Loved the
yeah.
kids.
And
Wow,
that's,
that he loved the kids.
That's
At that point in his life.
yes,
Yeah.
and that's where I think a lot of my anger started to come from, like when people that he taught and people that he coached would come up to me and be like, "Oh, you're Steve's daughter," and I'm like, what are you going to say?
Right.
And they're like, oh, I just loved your dad. I loved your dad. And I'm like, oh, that's great. You know,
Right.
glad he liked you, you know? So,
And it's a shitty feeling at that age.
It is.
Yeah.
And even now, my daughter's teacher, she, the other day she was like, I realized who you were. And I was like, well, who? And
Well,
she,
them Barker girls.
yeah, she was like, you're a Barker. And I was like, fuck, what's going to happen? How is this going to affect my daughter? And she was like, oh, I just loved your dad. And your dad used to coach my son. And, oh, just an amazing, amazing man. And I'm like, okay, good, thanks. Glad you like him. You know? And back to just that hatred. You know? He could pour it out to other people, but he could never show it to his own kids. And I think that's where I gave up. You know, I didn't, at that point, I didn't care. So when he got deep into his addiction.
So you guys were teenagers when he was starting to get deeper and deeper.
Yeah, it started before then, a little bit, but definitely middle school going into high school. So probably about seventh grade going into sophomore year, because he died, I think, the middle of my sophomore year. That's when things were just really, really bad.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that.
Yeah.
I mean, I obviously weren't living with him, but we saw it on this side.
Yeah. So thank God for Samantha, and I think, like, as we were talking, it's best that we had done it separately. Like,
Right.
if she does come on here, because she's my protector. Both,
Right.
I mean, both
yeah.
of my sisters are.
And that's
but,
why my daughters, it was better that they, right.
Yeah. So I'll
And they were protecting little sister.
yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. And they still do. And but I always look to them as like they'll save me. You know, but as I grew older and I'll get there with my oldest sister's addiction, I took on the martyr role, and I want to protect everybody, so I didn't have to hurt my mom.
What do you mean by that?
If I could deal when my sister's addiction started, I was like, okay, here we go again. You know, we went through my dad's addiction.
Okay.
You know, and I figured if I could shelter my mom from that, and I could deal with my sister and try to, you know, get her act together, then
Okay.
you know, we didn't have to go through all this suffering again. Yeah. So you know, we're always there for each other.
Yeah, all three of you always been super tight.
Very much so. And in fact, it's funny, where I live in Waterford, my parents' house to my house is 5 minutes, and each sister lives in between. So we're always
Nice.
together.
Nice.
The kids are always together. We're always together. Very, very tight-knit family. So yeah, growing up, they always protected me. And it's funny how much you block out things. And
Oh gosh, yes.
and
Especially trauma.
yeah.
Especially trauma.
Oh yeah. And I remember getting older and be like, I don't want to be here anymore. It's not fun. It's not It's not healthy. We never knew what we were going to expect. Never knew the moods, and it's not funny, but he's been gone 18 years, and at least once or twice a week, I will have a nightmare where I am stuck in his house and I'm trying to escape.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and it's ironic that now that I've started to talk about this, I haven't had those nightmares.
That's right.
Because you're healing.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
you know.
Have you ever had therapy?
No.
She's getting it now.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, listen, we have no letters after our name, right?
No,
But
not now. I'm
sometimes-
talking about at work.
No. What I'm
Whether it's
saying, but what my point is talking about it.
Yeah.
Right. That's what it's
Takes the power out of it.
It takes the
100%.
power out of it.
And just like you
yes.
said, once you did, it wasn't that hard.
It wasn't.
Because it's usually not. We build it up in our minds.
Yeah.
You know that we build our own little prison that you want to, you know, because as a fear.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
How free you want to be? You said that.
yeah, and being a counselor, I know all these things.
Right.
Talk about it.
Yeah, but that's
Heal.
good for you to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
Exactly.
I'm going to keep all my shit right here.
Stuff it
But
and
you
bury it.
need to get your shit out.
And so,
Because because you're dying of a drug or
Right.
alcohol.
Yes.
I'm not. I'm just dying from.
I'm just dying from my own,
Yeah.
Misery.
misery.
And fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so when I was talking to my coworker about this, she goes, "Well, how come you've never seen a therapist or anything?" I'm like, "Because I know all the things they're going to tell me.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I can tell you.
You know, therapists go to therapy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You know, and so I'm like, I know I need to heal. I know I need to do this. I know I need to do that. But I'm like, what's the point?
Right.
You know,
Freedom.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
And you know, I'm like, you know, I stuff it and you know, it doesn't affect me. And she just laughs
Laugh.
at me.
Oh, yeah.
And she's like, "Oh, honey,
yeah.
you know,
Right.
no, you don't hide it well.
No.
Like, yes, you're this bubbly personality and you're, you know, great and this and that, but no, there's, you know, your inner child who is just dying to heal." I'm like, great. All right. Here that is again. So,
Yeah, but you know what? You wouldn't have to say it again if it got out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That retread that you keep having that retread, well, if you stop fucking putting it back down in there, you won't retread it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and we tell this, this happens in the room a lot. Some people call them triggers. It's not triggers because you're leaving shit down inside there that
Needs to come out.
Needs to come out.
Yeah.
And Rob said it, you've said it, I've said it. How free do you want to be?
Right.
You know, I with Katie, I have to be completely, totally wide open. Otherwise, I can't. And today, with like I said, with the anxiety that I was having, I couldn't figure out where it was at. And normally, if it's there, it's because of something I said, did, you know, any of that. And it was been bugging me. And when I think it was Doug that said it, and it hit me, I'm trying to make this perfect. This, right? It has fucking nothing to do with me.
No.
This has nothing to do with me. I facilitated it.
It's not about
That's
us.
it. And God didn't even facilitate it. God just kept putting us together.
yeah.
Anyways.
And I feel like in a way too, it's not about me. You know,
It's not.
It's not.
And I told you
Yeah.
that. I literally told you
Yeah.
that. This ain't about you, Sarah.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's about the other Sarah that's going to hear this.
Right.
Right.
100%.
So yeah.
Now, hold on. Because people think I'm a monster anyways. It is going to help you, right? But getting it out through this platform is not about you.
Right.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
See, people,
I
I'm not a
think-
complete asshole.
Yeah, he is. You're
And I think that's what helped me go through with this is it's not about me anymore. And it's been 18 years.
Right.
You know, it's time to move on. I don't want to be an angry person anymore.
Good for you.
And
But you said anger a few times, hatred, which is
Hatred.
strong. That's just like
Very much.
taking poison, hoping someone else dies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
who are you carrying that for anyway?
exactly. And so I felt like that was my way of controlling it. And so the more he got into his addiction, the more it was time for my sister and I to move out. And we didn't know what that looked like. And we didn't know how that was going to happen. So I think that's where my nightmares came for a long time is trying to sneak out of the house without waking him up.
Wait,
And
so why were you afraid to move out? Were you afraid that he was going to hurt you?
oh yeah,
Really?
yeah. So he was.
I did not see that in him.
Not. It was the psychological part of it.
Okay, not physical.
but physical every now and then.
Really?
So his physical came in with competitions. And everything
Wow.
was a competition. That's why we
Right.
had to be the best. And
Right.
if you weren't the best, then don't talk to me, really. And and I remember, like, there's certain things that makes us laugh now, and we're just like, man, that's our fucking trauma that just comes up, and we gotta laugh. So we played soccer growing up, and I hated soccer. I wasn't good in it. Couldn't run. And I remember he took me to the game. I think all of us at that time, both my sisters and my stepmom and my mom met us there. And I remember on our way there, I said, "Hey, Dad, are you going to sit by the goalie box and yell at me the entire game?" And his face dropped. And I was like, "Oh, shit, what did I do?" And I was like, "Oh, no, because I really like that." And
You covered
I
ass.
had to.
Tap dancing.
Had to. And
Wow.
his face dropped, and he didn't talk to me for the rest of the day. And I think at that point, I knew, like, okay, I have to watch what I say, watch what I do, because it's going to affect him, and then it's going to affect all of us. So we're walking
Age?
around.
I don't know why I keep asking that because I think it's important.
Probably 8, 7, 8.
Okay, wow.
In
See,
between,
just
you know?
the young age, how the brain works as a defense mechanism at such a young age, as she says that she knew she had to defend herself.
Yeah.
Right? It's insane.
Yeah, and my daughter will be 9 in May, and I could never imagine her going through the shit that we went through. And
I want to ask a question,
Yeah.
and I don't mean to derail you,
Yeah.
but because for some reason this has been on my mind a lot lately. How are you talking about your dad around your kids? How's that legacy to your children going to look to them?
yeah, and I say this to everyone. I think he would have been the greatest grandpa. I really do. And I think that's what hurts the most, because I feel like at that time when he died, like, drugs and alcohol was taboo to talk about. You know, you hit it
A little bit, quite a bit,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, we didn't really
Especially
know.
those.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't really know what rehab was or anything like that. And so I think if he would have been able to get it together, he would have been awesome. And so
The guy had a heart.
heart of gold.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you sat with him for a moment, just for a moment, and got past a portion, the guy was just a gentle giant. He was a big man. He was a gentle giant.
Bigger than you?
Yes, he was a big one.
You
He
were
was-
6'3", 400 pounds.
But okay, he wasn't fat. He was thick.
Okay.
He was muscle. He was thick.
Yeah, was he an athlete too?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
What was his game
So,
of choice?
So his parents were alcoholics, and he escaped. He was one of 6, one of 8 total, because his mom, she had 4 kids, left 2 kids behind, and took 2 kids over here to, I guess, Houston or whatever, with my dad's dad. I don't even call him my grandpa, because they weren't grandparents to us.
Wow.
And so she, you gotta be pretty dysfunctional to leave, 2 of your kids behind, and I'll take you, and you 2 you stay here. And so she, that's just kind of the shit that he grew up in. They were
Trauma begots trauma.
Yes. And so they were alcoholics. So he escaped in sports and anything he can, play.
Did he have a sport of choice?
Oh God.
Was he a football guy, wrestling guy,
anything,
baseball
Anything
guy?
with
anything.
anything with a ball.
Yeah, football,
Anything football.
football, baseball,
Basketball. He was a hell of a basketball
Tall
player.
guy
Yeah,
too?
he was probably
Yeah.
6'6",
6'4", 6'5".
Yeah.
Oh, he's
He was-
taller than you.
Oh yeah, he was like
Yeah.
I said, he was taller than me and thick. He wasn't fat. He was thick. Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of the intimidation came
Oh,
from.
for
I
sure.
bet.
And bald.
Yeah.
And bald, right? If I remember
very,
that.
very like thin
Right.
hair. But like he chose to have
Rob.
thin hair.
Rob, one of his legs was you. Okay, just don't
Big
think
guy.
blonde and bald fits with you. Anyways.
Yeah. Redhead.
Yeah,
freckle,
redhead.
Freckle face.
Yeah.
And so for
Ginger.
Oh yeah. And it's funny because we always thought, we would be redheads, or
One of your
or
kids.
one of the kids would be
Right.
redhead. None of us are. We're just pale and freckled. And so yeah, he learned to be really good in sports, and I know now, like, he did the best that he could.
All of our parents did.
Yeah, and
I
especially-
say that all the time.
Yeah, especially with his parents. He did the best he could.
Yeah,
They were They were horrible people.
But I saw out of the corner of my eye, Bonnie. I understand, Bonnie. And I get it. I understand why you said that. No, because of our conversations. But even at that point, they didn't know any better. You know, I'm not trying to justify any of that, right? Not trying to justify any of what.
Well, everybody's situation is different. I can say mine knew better.
Right. Okay.
He definitely knew better.
Yeah.
And it wasn't once, it wasn't twice,
Yeah.
it wasn't 3 times.
Yeah,
it was
I probably
40,
shouldn't have said
50.
anything.
He
It's
knew
just,
better.
yeah, it's just that
Some of them know better.
right. And it's sick. It's so sick when I hear like what Bonnie's went through, what you went through. I look at
A lot
mine,
of similarities.
There's a
And
lot.
when you were saying things, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'd look at him and he's just like,
Yeah.
yeah.
like there's
No, she's not
so
an
many-
alcoholic or drug addict either. However, she grew up like you.
Yeah.
A lot of trauma.
Yeah.
So
And she did not like her last name.
Yeah.
She didn't wait to change her name.
We are celebrating this year makes it I've been a Thomas longer than I was ever a Holbrook. So
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, and I remember growing up too, wanting to change my last name as soon as possible. And so when I started, my relationship with my stepdad grew, and I was like, oh, this is a
When you quit slamming the door.
yeah. When I quit slamming into the door, and so I was like, oh, it's a good guy. I wanted to change my last name.
Wow.
I wanted to be a Barrios, and
Portuguese.
yep. And so when I told my mom that, she was just very, very shocked, and she was like, well, I'll support you with whatever you want to do. And she talked to my stepdad, and he goes, as much as I would love that, no,
Wow. Good for him.
because she, she's a Barker, and she's gonna get married one day, and she doesn't need to change her name to escape. I love her. She
Good
loves,
for him.
Yeah, and
Good. That's
looking back, yeah.
Extreme logic
Yeah.
to teach you, right? Extremely.
Yeah, and so I stayed a Barker for many more years. So yeah, he was very, very competitive, and so that intimidation that we had to be good in everything to get the attention. And I was average in sports. I did good. I love softball. I love volleyball. But Samantha was the all-star. She was the best.
That's the
And
oldest?
That's my middle sister. Yeah.
Was he mad that you weren't a boy?
Probably. Yeah.
Just thought I'd throw that out. there.
Yeah, he definitely raised us like boys.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of my mask came from, my insecurity, is because I either had to be the best, because I wasn't going to be a boy, and if it was if it's second best, then don't share it.
Right.
And
See, we didn't get that from the outside.
Yeah.
We did not get
no one
any
ever
of
saw
that from
that.
the outside. We really, and that's what I think is, and I don't mean to keep interrupting you, because what Sarah is explaining to what we saw, right? I saw some stuff that was not normal, right? But what I also saw is the love that he's poured out to a lot of those kids at that school, right? I saw that, and how much he cared for some of that program, and that's what we saw, right? And to hear that now, I mean, I'm not shocked whatsoever because we know mask, like you said, but to see that he didn't coach that way, right? He did not coach that way. If he would have coached that way, he would have taken a lot more shit from us, right? But he didn't coach that way. He got invited to coach not only the boys football, the boys basketball, and the boys varsity baseball. He was very, very much in just, what was the word? I mean, he was very involved in the high school.
yeah, very much so. Yeah, so nobody ever knew anything, and you sure as hell didn't talk about it.
No.
So again, that goes. I gotta hide everything. I gotta
Right.
walk on eggshells. Gotta be careful what I say, and that's a lot for a
That's
kid.
a lot to carry.
It's a lot to carry for a
For
kid.
a teenager.
Yeah.
For anybody.
Teenage
But teenagers
girl.
especially,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially we never knew what was going to happen. And when I kind of tried to prepare myself for this, and I was listening to some of the podcasts, it brought up stuff that I totally forgot.
Such as? This is the good stuff.
If you don't mind me.
No,
me
go,
sharing.
girl. What the hell you
So,
think?
Miranda was talking about how she was on the phone with you and how you hadn't talked to Larry in about 5 or 6 hours and you didn't know coming home what you were going to walk into. And I listened to that on my way to work. It's about a 50-minute drive to work. And it didn't hit me then. And I'm sitting at my desk and I'm, still listening to Miranda speaking. And then it comes up again. And I was like, holy shit, that happened to us all the time. And I forgot about it. He would tell us all the time, if you come home and I'm gone, I'm really sorry.
Wow.
And yeah, he would write that constantly. And, he had his police issued gun at home. And towards the end, it was always right next to him. He had a huge, suitcase box filled with pills, and then the gun in a box too. And it was always on him. And so I think that's where a lot of it came from, when we came home, we didn't know what we were walking into.
Were you living with him?
Every Thursday and every
gotcha.
other
Okay,
every
so
other
it's
weekend.
still on that.
Still on that. And it just, I was like, oh my God, I forgot about all of that. And Samantha's like, yeah, And I remember he used to write that in birthday cards to us.
What the fuck?
Yeah, fucked up. It was always something like, I wish I could give you more. If this is the last birthday that we spend together, I'm really sorry. I did the best I could.
What is that? That's victimese right there.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, that's victim.
Yeah.
That's victim mentality.
Yeah,
100%.
100%.
Yeah. Poor me. Look at me, poor me. Yeah.
And he would
Self-pity.
write his will everywhere, just on a piece of paper. I leave my truck to to Sarah and Samantha.
God, he was screaming for help.
And so that's why I feel like if we would have known about treatment options and things like
But
that.
and this may be very fucked up question. Did he not have friends that? God, that just fucking
'cause
kills me thinking about that.
He alienated himself.
But did he, before he got down his addiction in that road, did he not have
Yeah,
at least one person to go, hey, dude, hey, look at yourself?
He had a group of guys that he played sports with and all that. But again, no one ever knew any of this.
Just like you didn't.
No,
You-
and I
you
got
to see-
it. I got
You
it.
got to see what he wanted you to see.
No, I got it. No, I understand. It's just, I had I guess the other side of that is I had a family that was watching me do it. So, I mean, you guys were watching but didn't know what to do.
Right.
Right. At that point, I know your mom and dad have been divorced for so very long, but was your mom saying, hey, we need to get him some help? Does she even care that much?
No, she cared, but again, I don't think none of us knew what to do.
Okay.
With him being a cop, do you feel like he was protected a little bit more? Like no one wanted to say anything because that might be...
No, because I don't think he was a cop for very long.
Okay.
I never remember him being a cop.
Okay.
I could see if he was a cop when we were, still young and growing up, then something like that. But I think he got out of that before I was born.
Okay.
So it was a very short period of his life. But
How long after he had that shooting incident did he leave? Do you know?
I don't.
But it couldn't have been long.
I don't think it was long. Yeah.
That'd have to leave some trauma
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
to kill another man like that.
Mikey, the
Right.
guy that comes to our meeting,
Right, he was
my little Marine. On his pay, he don't mind if I say it. On his step work, part of it was that he never wants to take another human life.
Yeah.
Can you imagine having to put that on paperwork?
And a 4-step,
Yeah,
right?
he was a little. I've sponsored a
He
few.
ain't little.
Well,
He's just short.
He's round. Anyway, but I sponsor a few.
Marines.
Well, yeah, servicemen. I'm just a Navy guy. But yeah, but
You just
but
gave him
that's
a
part
ride.
of it. I mean, but that's some people can handle it and some people
And
cannot.
cook their dinner.
Yeah.
You gave them rides and cooked their dinner.
Damn right. And came home.
Yeah. So, that probably set the scope for everything. And, so always angry, always, mask, cover everything. You don't talk about that stuff. None of that. And so, when I felt like it just became, normal, as fucked up as that is.
No, it's not. I mean, you adapt to the temperature of the room, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you do.
So, we always knew, be careful, walk on eggshells, don't say anything wrong, don't bring up anything that's going to piss them off. And then it just, it started getting heavier and heavier. And then just, I guess, being a cop and what have you, you don't trust anybody.
Oh, no.
You don't trust anybody. You don't.
Hence the reason why you didn't have a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't let people in. back to the wall. You know, you always want to keep your head on a swivel. He would always tell us, don't walk with your hands in your pocket. Don't walk like a victim.
Right.
You know, so that that would, you know, kind of set the tone for, okay, this is normal. This is what we do. You know, we don't walk like a victim. We hold our head up. We don't trust anybody. And then so for me, that affected my relationship with people. Is I don't trust you. What are you trying to get out
Your
of
own.
me? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you trying to get out of me? You know, I kept pushing everybody away. And so that anger kept showing up, and I was just an angry teenager. You know, everything out of my mouth was fuck this, fuck you. Just misery. And lived that way for a long time.
He got married a second time, right?
Yeah.
Did his wife leave because of his addiction?
Yes.
Second
Yeah.
one? Mm-hmm. And you still have a relationship with her,
Yeah.
you said? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she left probably about 3 years before he died. And then that just kind of spiraled everything. Right. And you know, good for her for getting out.
Do you know if she ever tried to get him into any kind of recovery?
Probably not.
Really?
Yeah.
Is she's an enabler? Probably don't want to answer that question, maybe.
You know, I don't remember them very much.
Okay.
You know, just they were both miserable. Misery loves company.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
She had enough of it, though.
yeah, she did. And yeah, good for her. No,
That option wasn't there for you.
no animosity at all towards her. And so yeah, so at that point it got worse and worse, and you know, pills kept coming, and then if pills would run out, I remember he would send us across the street if he knew somebody had surgery, or if somebody was a nurse, be like, hey, go ask them for some pills.
Shut up.
Swear.
And when they would give them to you?
No.
Oh, good God.
Yeah, no. But I think that's that's just that was normal.
What a memory.
That became normal.
What a memory
yeah.
to have, though.
Yeah, Samantha and I would go to the neighbor's house. Hey, you know, got some pills? My dad needs some. He ran out. Yeah.
We don't care that you just had fucking open heart surgery.
Yeah. We need your pills more than you do. So stuff like that just became normal. And yeah, I mean, you can't tell people that. What'd you do this weekend? I went door knocking and, you know, asking for some pills.
Trick or treating for
Trick or
pills.
treating for pills, you know. You can't say
Trick or
any of
pills.
that.
Trick or pills.
Yeah. So
Come on.
just stupid.
I mean,
yeah.
you can almost laugh about it because
Yeah.
it's like it's so far out there to send your kid across the street.
Okay, now let me
somebody-
let me ask you this question. So, okay, you know you're going to go knock. More than likely, say the third or fourth time, you know you're not going to get any. What's the walk back like?
Oh.
Knowing that you're going back empty-handed.
Horrendous. And that's where that fear comes in.
Oh, just overwhelming. I guarantee it. Pit in your stomach is just knots.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
Been there.
Yeah. And so, like we were saying, the emotional abuse is just
It's worse than almost anything.
worse, right? Because bruises can heal, bones can heal, but it's the shit that he would say that would just stay stuck.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And so, yeah, we were talking, and I think that's why we're so competitive. But if we didn't win something or what have you, then that's where we would get hit. Just you lined up, and he would just sock you as hard as he could, whether that was in your arm or your legs or wherever.
That's just wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about. I never seen that at all. And that's what's so scary is to think that all I saw was this, and that was going at home, and it makes me wonder what that guy across the street's doing to his kids. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just puts that. It worries me what happens behind closed doors when I look at people. When I hear that,
I
because
bet you don't know.
that's what I'm saying, because
You
I
think-
never saw that.
You think behind the door you got the cleavers and you
Right,
don't.
right.
You got
And
the Bundys.
Right. But I just didn't see that in him. I just didn't. I just didn't.
Nobody did.
Yeah, did not.
Unless you were his daughters.
Right.
Mainly.
And you weren't going to tell anybody because it's just worse for you.
Yeah, no. In fact, Sam and I, and hopefully she won't mind me sharing, but we were talking about that, how we would line up and we get our dues. And I guess one time he hit her so hard, just black and blue, and my mom saw. And Sam said that she fell. And my mom's like, no, that's not a fall. And she realized then that my dad put hands on her and hit her. And I think at that time she said that my mom, wanted to report him, but nothing went from it because we were so scared of what was going to happen.
Did your stepdad ever step into that? I mean, because I'm sorry, but as he raised you guys from little, there had to be some father instinct in that somewhere.
So
I would imagine.
I feel like they had some conversations, but not.
I would respect him if he didn't. I'm just saying either way, there had to be some hard decisions for him to make to watch you girls go through that.
My dad would always threaten people.
Yeah. I could see that. That part I can see.
And so,
very intimidating.
Very much. And so, I think one time when he was blacked out in pills, he had threatened to kill my stepdad if he ever said anything to him or what have you. So again, we just don't say anything and we suffer
in silence.
In silence because we didn't want anybody else to get hurt. And they knew it was affecting us and they knew it was bad. And that's when we stopped going over there, or at least for me, I stopped going over there as much. Samantha still did because they have a completely different relationship.
Yeah, because she's the all-star.
She is.
Right.
Yep. And so when I was talking with her yesterday, like I don't blame her for anything.
No, absolutely not.
She was the golden child and she's perfect.
I feel the same way about my brother.
Yeah.
Same way.
Even now I can't say things because he was nice to her.
She was the all-star.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I have that in my family.
Yeah.
I do. So
So I thank God for her. Because she
But did he expect more from her because she was, and then if she didn't perform,
Yes, but
she would get it
she-
maybe a little worse?
No, because she could deliver.
Okay, well,
Yeah. She
she delivered the goods.
did he coach girls softball?
he did.
Okay.
So he was our coach for a lot of years.
Right.
And,
Yes, okay.
That's
He was JV baseball for a little while. Then
Yeah.
he stepped over.
and but he coached girls softball and then girls basketball as well.
Okay.
And then he coached us all growing up.
Right.
Whether that was basketball or softball. And boy, oh boy, that's where it.
He was intense on the field.
Very much so.
But I listen, man. I was intense on the field, right? At the field, on the sidelines, I was intense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a competitive fool. So, yeah, I got. But so when I would see that, Steve, that's just normal.
That was
to me,
normal
that
for
was
us.
normal.
Yeah.
We're going to win.
Yeah.
Period. Anyways,
Yep.
but the other stuff, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and so he would be when he was our coach. God, I hated it, and so.
Sure, my daughters hated me being their coaches.
And so I think at that point, that's when he really wanted guys, and he would I remember hitting it as hard as he could towards us. And I remember I played first base, and he hit me so hard one time, ball popped up and hit me in the chest, and I was crying, and he was like, "Stop fucking crying," like, suck
Probably
it up.
hitting them harder to you than anybody else.
100%. And I remember the assistant coach was like, "She'd probably back off a little bit." Nah, she's fine, and just harder the next time, and you better fucking get it.
Right. That I see.
Yeah.
That was him.
Yeah, and so that's where a lot of the anxiety came into play, and then the OCD started because, God forbid, if I forgot one of my pieces of equipment, you're going to explain to your coach why you made everybody late.
Right.
And so I would just remember counting things. I'm like, okay, I got 2 pairs of cleats, 2 pairs of socks, got my sliders, whatever it was. I just remember counting everything up and down, up and down, up and down. And because, God forbid, I didn't want to get yelled at. I didn't want to get yelled at. It's what I can control. It's what I thought I could control. And then so, I thank God for Sam because she put up with a lot. And I knew, and I tell her now, she's the golden child and she knows that and she's sorry for that, but I'm not sorry for her for that because she protected me in that way. My oldest sister was already out of the house and, so it was just Sam and I, and she loves my dad, and not that I don't love my dad, but she.
Let's
just
very
totally-
much preference that.
Yeah.
You guys loved your dad.
Yes.
So that is
Yeah,
Well,
didn't.
Without a
if
doubt.
there was no love, there wouldn't be the anger. There wouldn't be the hatred. there
Yes,
wouldn't be the
she would have
bitterness.
no problem coming
Right.
on here
That
Right.
trashing.
That wouldn't
Yeah.
be here.
It would. This wouldn't be an emotional thing. It would be a trashing
Yes.
session. So yes,
Yeah.
completely.
So, you know, if something happens, even to this day, she wants to call him and she wants to, you know, tell him, you know, all the good things. And I'm just like, oh.
I'm going to tell you because this is about the fourth time it's popped in my head. One of the most healing things I've ever heard and did personally is writing a letter and going out to the gravesite and reading that letter at the headstone or wherever he's at.
So many people.
It's so healing.
Yeah, so many people have told me that. Just write.
It's
and
incredible.
I don't know where to start.
It doesn't matter.
You know?
Write his
Dear-
name 10
Dear
times.
Dad.
Yeah.
Write his.
Go.
That's how
Yeah.
it starts.
Well, like,
it will
okay,
pour.
If he was sitting right here, what would you say
Right.
to him?
Oh God.
Would you want to introduce him to his grandbabies?
Oh, of course.
All that.
Yeah,
Once
and
you
I-
start
and-
going, it'll come.
And I don't think.
Fuck you for this.
Yes.
Fuck. I'm just,
No,
no,
yeah,
I'm Sarah.
yeah.
Hey, Sarah,
All of
I'm not
that.
kidding. I started writing some stuff here a while back because that guy and my new sponsor, the one that's doing the work better than he did. Sorry, I had to throw it. I mean, I started writing some stuff, and
job,
because they've been after me. I have one of these books, and before I know it, I was up to 4.5 pages, 5 pages, and I literally was doing it for like 10 minutes.
How free
That's
do you
it.
want to be?
And as it was coming, it was clicking.
Yeah.
And if I read it right now, it'd make 0 sense to me. It would make 0 sense. But it came out, and as more it came out, and Doug was asking me, he's like, how'd it go? I'm like, dude, it just dug up some shit that I haven't thought of for years. It dug up some stuff because we talked this, and like you said, it came up. And as I was digging into that, more shit was coming up. And I'm like, God damn, I thought I was getting this out, but it's just it's stirring the mud underneath.
Yeah.
But that stuff that's down underneath that mud, that's the shit that's got to come out.
Right.
Right. That murky stuff on top is just the low hanging fruit. The shit that matters is the stuff that's down the bottom. So
Yeah.
right. Just I encourage you to write a
But
letter.
4 years ago, you weren't ready for
Oh
that. mud.
God, no, bro.
We had to get the
Hell
low hanging
no.
fruit. That's why that's
Right.
all we do.
100%. That's
You
the
weren't,
difference
you weren't
between.
spiritually or emotionally ready for that
No,
shit.
it's a and
Sarah.
Yeah,
You are.
yeah. You're
ready.
well.
You're ready.
And I think so. You're talking about the gravesite. We cremated my dad, and
Hold on, back up though. Before we go to that part. Let's talk about his death.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go there.
So things just got worse and worse and worse, and Samantha and I decided to move out fully, but we didn't know what.
And you were just in high school.
Yeah. I think I moved out when I was probably a freshman, and so she was a junior, and she would still kind of go there more than me. But the pills just got bad. He was in and out of relationships. He dated my boyfriend's mom. Just no boundaries whatsoever.
Sorry, we both talked about that yesterday.
So maybe different. So because he
Yes,
got
we know. We
engaged-
can't. Yeah,
he got engaged to a female.
right.
But we didn't date any of
Right.
her boys. I dated one of his football players, and was with him for a while. And then my dad's like, "Oh, I'm gonna date his mom," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks, appreciate that." So we broke up shortly after, and that's when I just realized that things were just not right.
Right.
And and going back to the psychological part of it, I remember being in 5th grade and the May dances,
yeah.
and I remember Samantha sitting behind me and she was getting me ready and curling my hair, and my dad wouldn't stop pestering and bothering and
Just playing.
yes, but
okay.
just being a fucking
Being an
asshole.
Okay.
And I took
been there.
I took the curling iron out of her hands and I went to burn them because that was my instinct to protect
Right.
her. And God, that was horrible. Because then it was, okay, you're back to being ignored.
Right.
Now I'm going to tell everybody. Well, tell his wife at the time. And then she gave me shit for it. And then I remember feeling, okay, now I got to hide everything again and restuff
Right.
everything.
Stuff it down.
Stuff it down. And then so things just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And he spiraled when my stepmom left. And I think that was his excuse to just do more and more pills.
That's the fuck it.
Yeah.
Right. That's the fuck it.
Yeah.
What good am I now? Right. There ain't nobody here to watch me. Nobody here to yell at me. My kids moved out. My wife moved on. Right there.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yep. And so I remember these red and white duffel bags that my sister and I would live out of every other weekend. And I remember trying to stuff all of this stuff in our room into this damn duffel bag and sneak it out before he would wake up, before school, mind you. And so I think that's where a lot of the anxiety kicked in even more. And that's,
Did you recognize, and this may sound like a very stupid question, but did you recognize that it was anxiety, or you didn't know that feeling?
No.
It's fucking miserable, isn't it?
Horrible.
Not knowing what that is.
Yeah.
Somebody, when you try to
Horrible.
explain anxiety to somebody, they're like, what? They don't. It's hard to explain it to people.
Yeah.
It's fucking
For
miserable.
me, is that not the pit of your stomach? They just, yeah.
It used to make me gag. I used to be in the shower and just gag,
Yeah.
and
Just
just
like
the
throw up.
anxiety would get so bad I would just dry heave. Yeah.
You did, but you didn't even want to eat anything, so you would dry heave.
And we had that as kids, as fucking kids. We had that shit. No kid should have anxiety,
and I just knew how to live with it.
right?
You know?
we learned to
Yeah.
adapt to it.
Yep.
Fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And so I think that's where a lot of the nightmares came from, is just learning how to escape from that house and survive.
Right.
And so we moved out. We were living in Waterford at the time. And my stepdad noticed a change, and he's like, man, the girls are doing better. You know,
Fear's gone
the
away.
fear's gone away for the most part. We would still get the phone calls. He would always tell me, okay, I'm going to call you. And we would joke. He's like, okay, my people are going to call you. And I'm like, yeah, my people aren't going to answer you.
My people are going to call you.
Yeah, that's one of
Or
his
his
personalities,
jokes.
one of his
Gotcha.
jokes, you know.
Gotcha.
And
That I can see
Yeah.
in Steve. He did have a few personalities
Yeah.
come from time to time.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
And so I'm like, yeah, my people aren't going to answer you, you know. And so I remember going weeks and months without talking to him, and I wouldn't.
Would you see him around the school though? Was that period of time when he was coaching and you
He
were
was
there?
coaching. Samantha was there more than I was.
Okay.
I would go every now and then. But
But you graduated from Waterford.
no, from Houston.
Okay. I think that's where my
Yeah.
confusion. Okay.
Yeah, we graduated Houston through and through.
Okay. All right. So
yeah,
you're one of those.
I really don't know why.
You're one of
You
those.
know what? He went to Waterford because nobody would have him in Houston.
No, we heard that.
Yeah.
That's one of the things where we had a problem. Was like, if Houston didn't want him, why the fuck is he over
Yeah.
here? Right.
Yeah, and because I had some family members who worked in Houston, and their way of protecting us was keeping him out of the schools, and you know, he would get kicked out of just about every game, you know, screaming and yelling. I'm like, fuck, you know, and the embarrassment and.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So, and I remember one time towards the end, Samantha and I were just talking about it. I think when my kind of manic anxiety came into play is he was dropping us off at home, at my parents' house here, across the street in Waterford. And I still don't know what happened to this day. I don't know if I was hallucinating, but I thought there was these pack of dogs that was coming across the street and they were going to attack us. And I remember screaming, like, nobody sees these dogs that are going to come and get us. And I looked at him and I screamed at him and I was like, this is your fucking fault. You know, you love Samantha more than you love me. Like, everything just exploded and I have no idea what happened.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I have no, and Sam and I were talking about this the other day and I was like, did that really happen? Like, were there actual dogs? And she was like, I don't think there was dogs, but I remember you yelling. But I think that's just where I just couldn't take it anymore.
Right. You had a reaction.
Yeah. And so she stayed with him as much as she could. I think she was trying to help. But I wouldn't talk to him and I wouldn't reach out to him unless he called me. And if he called me, it was, you know, whether or not I would
Hit or
answer.
miss.
Yeah.
Right.
And so before he died, you know, the phone calls kept coming of, you know, if I die and, you know, I can't, you know, I'm not here, just know, like, I love you girls and I did what I could. And
God, it breaks my heart.
yeah. And,
Good
you know,
grief.
and I, again, at that
Breaks my
time,
heart for you girls.
yeah, again, at that time, I think it's normal, you know?
Oh my good Lord.
So, I was at softball practice and, I got a phone call from, my ex-boyfriend's mom and said that your dad's been in an accident. And I was like, oh God, is he dead? Because every phone call, I didn't know if it was going to be the call, if he was dead or not. And so I remember running out of softball practice. Samantha was practicing on a different field. And I said, we got to go. I think she drove at that time. And I said, we got to go home. We have to go to the hospital. Dad's in the hospital. I don't know what happened. And I remember her reacting for once and acknowledging the pills. And she was like, he's fucked up on pills. I know he is.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And that's when I saw her being angry. And I don't ever remember her being angry about it before. And so we all went to the hospital. And I went back with my brother-in-law at the time. And my sister's first husband. And I remember seeing my dad there in the bed, and he had, they pumped his stomach. He had charcoal all over his mouth. And he's like, it's not the pills. I didn't do this. I didn't crash because of the pills. I'm like, okay.
Charcoal. Where does the charcoal come from?
So when you're overdosing.
Oh.
They pump you with charcoal.
Oh, God.
Absorb
And,
the poison.
Yeah, absorbs.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I did not. Okay.
Yep, it absorbs it, helps you throw up and get all of that stuff
Okay.
out.
All right.
And so he had charcoal all over his mouth. And the only thing I could think of was like, fuck, well, now his truck is fucked up and now we don't get his truck. And
Well, that's practical.
practical. Yeah. And so I was like, well, that's the one fucking thing that he was going to leave us.
In the many wheels that he rode. Damn it.
Because at that time, too, his addiction turned to buying things. And he would buy sports cards, bobbleheads.
Yep. Remember all that.
All this
very
stuff.
vividly.
And he's like, this is going to be your inheritance. This is going to be worth millions.
No, he used to bring him to school and show him off to everybody and
God.
say what he spent on it. And it was insane. He would bring it into the coach's room and show us that. Yeah, I can remember that.
Yeah, just this is your inheritance.
Right.
And so I remember always coming home and there's another freaking package. And I'm like, oh, great. There's our inheritance. And
Sort of like Katie and her Amazon.
so, but at that time it was eBay. eBay was huge.
Right.
He was always on eBay.
I just said that yesterday.
And then I think that's where everything kind of, too, he always wanted to show how much he had but kind of give it away. So
he did.
I
remember that too.
He was giving
God,
away.
he gave a jersey. So
okay,
the
I know
football,
exactly.
the Tillman jersey.
So here's the thing.
Shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So, and that picture popped up the other day. And I was so pissed off. I'm like, all these people fucking love you and you're so fake and all this stuff. And I'm like, you're giving away stuff that you can't even provide for us.
Forgot about that.
We would come home or to his house, and we never knew if we were going to have food in the cupboards, or what was going to happen.
Right.
And it was funny because I took my daughter to her best friend's last night so she could spend the night, and we started talking about sloppy joes, and I hate sloppy joes because that was the only thing my dad towards the end knew how to cook: sloppy joes and pickles, and
Chili beans and hot dogs for me.
So that was the only thing that would be in the cupboards. So we never knew if we were going to eat or what have you. But he would. So it would make me mad that he would keep buying all this stuff and then he was giving it away. And so this jersey, I can't remember which kid he ended up giving that to, but come to find,
Do you remember?
he was a little skinny boy and blonde hair.
I'll think of it in a minute because I remember it vividly. Vividly.
Yeah, and so
It wasn't one of the Marchies.
no, but he would always hang out with one of the marches. I think his name was Zach.
He got a Tillman jersey.
Yeah. Right after he got killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember it was a big thing, but come to find out, I don't think it was real.
Maybe not, but it was already in a shadow box, so
yeah.
nobody can get into it.
Oh yeah. What we discovered is he would practice autographs and he would sign everything. So
There you go.
who knows if it was real or not.
Somebody's going to listen to this in Waterford that's got that jersey, and they're going to go,
pissed.
fuck!
Yeah.
There's a sitcom that this is the plot to. I'm not even joking. where the dad was like signing the autographs and giving them to the kids, and the kids were so excited.
Oh yeah,
and then,
I remember having certain things, and I'm like, oh my god, they signed it for. Oh,
I can't remember what show it was, but it was one of those shows. And then the kids are like, "So none of this stuff," and the mom's like, "No, you guys. Yeah, if you look, they're spelled wrong, and they're looking at it, and they're really spelled wrong. You didn't even get the names right." Yeah,
So I don't know if this was a real one or not, because some of them were real, but I'm pretty sure the Pat Tillman one was one that he signed himself.
Yeah, and it was already in a shadow box too.
Yeah.
So there's no you can't authenticate it.
Yeah. And so at that point, it was just like, whatever, we're done. And so I'm like, you want to give your stuff away, give your stuff away. Just be miserable. And so at that point, I think he dove into other people because he was losing us. And
the kids.
Yeah.
The football players for sure.
yeah. And so so pills got worse. He moved out, he sold his house, and he lived with my oldest sister at the time. And that's when things got really bad. And that's where her addiction took off.
Damn it.
And so she and him just kept butting heads. And then she kicked him out, and he, I don't know if he got a house here in Waterford, or he went and lived with his sister. But he lived with his sister towards the end. And he died the day after Thanksgiving.
Did somebody find him? Or did
He was living with his sister at the time.
Okay.
So he died in her house.
So she found him.
Yeah. And so I remember it's Thanksgiving. I didn't want to go over there. And my sisters were like, no, let's go see Dad. And I was like, no, fuck that. I'm not going over, because he was at his dad's house. And I was like, I'm not going over there. They don't like us. They, they don't talk to us. What's the point? And they're like, no, you're going. I don't know if that was like their way of like, things are going downhill fast. And I went, and it was okay. And I remember him, giving us a hug and saying, okay, I love you girls so much. And I think he texted us that night, and he was like, I'm so happy that you guys came. And then we got that call the next morning that he died.
A heart attack or overdose?
Massive heart attack is what the autopsy was, but I'm sure from the pills. Pills were a little bit harder to come by. He wasn't getting them, I think, as much.
Did he move to street drugs, do you know?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure. So I remember getting that phone call and just kind of feeling free.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah. And like the pain and abuse was over. And that's hard for a 15-year-old.
The process.
Yeah.
Yeah. You feel bad for not feeling bad.
Exactly. And so I felt more bad for Samantha, because I felt like she lost her dad.
She was close to him.
She was very close to him. Yeah.
Because of the sports.
Yes.
They had a bond.
Yes. Yeah. And so we went to Ceres, and the police were already there, and my older sister went in, identified him, and all of that. And I remember them asking if I wanted to go in and see him. I was like, for what? And they're like, well, say your goodbyes. And I was like, no.
Good.
So, yeah, that was that. And we had a funeral for him. And I just remember so many people being there. It was like standing room only. And I was like...
A lot of the kids, Brent.
Yeah. And I was like, why are all these people here?
Because they didn't know him like you did.
Exactly. And so, everyone, oh my God, I loved your dad. I love this, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, shut up. Like, I just couldn't take it anymore. And so...
what year did he pass? 18 years ago, so it had to be 2000.
It was 2010, 2011. Because, no, I'm sorry, 2009. 2008, 2009. Because Samantha was a senior, and she graduated in 2009, and he passed in November. So it was in 2008.
And I coached until 15, 16, Till I step down.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was a huge weight lifted, and that sucked. But I remember.
Why did it suck? You say a huge weight lifted, but it sucked.
Because
That's very that's contradicting.
It's very much so. But I was sad that he was gone.
Okay.
But I was happy that he was gone, and I just knew that probably wasn't the best experience.
And as a kid, you were probably thinking, "I'm supposed to be sad."
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be sad.
Yeah. And I don't remember crying a lot. I just remember being angry that his choices led him here and led us to be without him. But I felt free from the psychological, the emotional, the physical abuse of it all. And so at that point, I don't remember how far my sister, like when her addiction kind of started, but she dabbled with pills as well when my dad was alive. And then when we found out that she was dependent on pills, I was pissed all over again. I'm like, here we go again. We just had this with Dad.
Yeah, that's what you talked about earlier.
Yeah, we just had this with Dad. How could you do this? And here I go back to being angry all over again and being the lost child because now my mom had to focus on her. And I just really didn't know what to do anymore. I still played sports, still did the best I could. But again, kind of doing my own thing. So sophomore, junior year, senior year, she's in the midst of her addiction. And then she moves back in with us and trying to get sober. And we lived in the same house, and she just, lived right down the hall. And I couldn't talk to her because I was so angry, and I felt like if I opened my mouth, all this hatred would come out, and I couldn't close it, and I couldn't mend those wounds. So we didn't speak for a year, living in the same house, just ignoring each other. And she knew that if she pushed me, I was gonna
How was
lose
her
it.
recovery going?
She's 14 years
No,
old.
no. How was it going then? You said she moved back in to try and get help. Was she still going in and out?
In and out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still trying to hide it, but in and out.
So she got sober in 2011,
Something like that. Yeah.
12.
Yeah. So in and out. And I remember at that time, I would go with her to meetings and I would support her that way.
NA or AA?
AA.
Fucking.
Stop it, Robert.
She would try NA, and I
I
don't
didn't
like
say
it.
nothing.
You did too.
Was that out loud?
Yes.
My bad.
A-hole.
I get
My
it.
bad. I'm sorry.
I don't like NA meetings.
Wherever you get recovery,
Yeah.
by God,
Stop
that's
it.
fine.
Yeah, so I would go to meetings with her, and I would drive her because we couldn't trust her to drive.
Right.
And I couldn't speak to her for a year, but she knew I supported her, and she supported me, but I just couldn't talk to her. We're thankful for that because she is, along with Samantha, my best friend, and
You guys are tight.
100%. We talk 4 or 5 times a day.
All right. But you cremated. Sorry, we're gonna come back to that.
Okay.
You cremated your dad.
Yes.
What was the decision there? I mean, financial or was
Financial.
it? Okay. The only reason why I say it is because, for me, if she ever puts me in a coffin, I'll fucking haunt her. For one, don't ever spend a dime on one of them fucking boxes.
Mm-hmm.
That's number 2. But I have found that when people cremate some people, it's because they just don't give a shit about them.
And it was
That's
kinda,
the reason
it was
why I'm
kinda
asking.
Like that.
That's what my wife wants.
What?
She wants to cremate it and be spread. She doesn't want people showing up at
but that's a
at
different
plot somewhere.
that's a different one, right? She's planning that. Same way as I'm telling Katie, don't you ever put me in a fucking box. Burn me and toss me. In fact, I got a picture of where she's going to toss me around the back of my arm.
I'm gonna go catch some fish. So we'll go up there.
But there's some people that burn them because they don't fucking like them any better than that.
And I think that's where it was too, but also financial because he didn't
Right.
have any money. He didn't have life insurance.
Well, he sold that Pat Tillman jersey.
Yeah. You know, he had nothing,
Yeah,
nothing
it's
to
so
his
sad.
name. So thank God for, you know, my mom, my dad, and my grandpa, because they paid for the funeral.
His ex-wife.
Yep.
And the man that married her.
Yep.
Married.
Yep. And
Your stepdad seems like a very, very logical man.
amazing man.
Wow.
Very amazing man.
Hey, by the way, salmon does have an L in it, Dummy.
I was wondering.
you're right,
I'm
you
like,
do.
okay, am I?
You're right.
retarded?
Thank
I'm
you.
like,
Thank you for correcting me because
I'm like,
I was
okay.
honestly thinking about it too.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Well, I was going to say something,
anything, 'cause
but
I was like,
Salmon
Sarah
season
was
opened
into
up
her
to
talking, so I wasn't going to correct you right there.
See, that's the difference
But it was
between you and I.
But it was going to happen. Trust me.
The difference between you and I wouldn't have given a shit. I go, hey, dumb fucker, it's got an L in it.
Remember I showed you my phone when I showed you my phone?
Yeah, I know. Oh my God, we went down a rabbit hole. See, I told you it happens. It happens. So yeah, so Dad's cremated. Where's he at? In an urn.
Was your dad working through his addiction?
Yes. Yes and no.
You were saying that he had some surgeries on him. I remember him having surgery. But I also remember, I want to say he was like on crutches, we were standing out by the baseball fields, and he's like, yeah, but I got to have surgery on my foot. And because I've got this thing going on, well, I work in an orthopedic office, so I was like, well, what do you haven't done? He's like, I got this thing called a Morton's neuroma, which I know what that is. I said, oh, it feels like you're stepping on rock. And he's like, yeah, it does. And I've got it in my other foot, too. And I just thought to myself, then, he's fishing. He's wanting to be able to...
Surgery for more pills.
Yep.
I know a lot. I've sponsored a few people like that.
Yeah.
I
So I think he just stopped working. You know, I think with all the surgeries and the pills.
Was it ever like a work injury? Was he maybe like...
He had workman's comp.
So maybe that's how he was surviving.
Yeah, and because I like I said, he didn't. I don't think had any savings. Maybe like a little bit from when he sold the house, but
I don't. We used to think that is like, how in the hell is he always? Because he was always at the school, always at the school, right?
and that's where I'm like, can't come and support us. Like, stop showing up to our stuff. But then it was also kind of a relief, because
He had an outlet.
yeah. Thank God for my stepdad. So he's cremated, and he's actually at my parents' house.
Shut up.
I swear. He is in my old bedroom. We have not done anything with him. I don't know why.
Well, maybe you three will heal through this,
Yeah.
and you can do something with him.
Yeah, and we have always talked about driving, you know, whether that was to Montana or, you know, he loved the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, he did.
God, did he love the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, he did.
And so, you know, maybe we got
So much stuff
Dump
coming
him in
back.
the stadium.
Yeah. You know, something.
Carry it in the pocket.
Yeah. So we've always talked about doing something with him, but we never have done anything.
No, because you got too much hate.
Yeah.
You got too much.
That's-
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it takes too much time.
Right.
So he
didn't give us time, so fuck him.
He sits in the box in my old bedroom, and
It's just a box. It's not an urn.
just a box.
He's still in the Ziploc bag.
Probably.
Inside the cardboard.
Seriously, probably. Yeah. For the longest time, he was in the closet, and now he's up on the bookshelf. So he's stepped up and he's moved up a little bit.
Getting closer
1
to being
month.
freed.
Yeah.
You have 1 month.
Maybe
1 month until I am free.
You won't stay. You won't stay in that bag an hour. It only takes me to drive somewhere.
He's gonna
You're
snort
gone.
you. Look at Rob.
Oh yeah.
Take it at your own risk.
His meth is gonna come back to him. That's freaking hilarious.
So he's still there. And I don't know. We joke that my parents' house is haunted. That we've heard ghosts in there. We've seen, you know, things fly around.
If ever there was going to be an unrestful spirit, it's probably going to be him.
100%.
Right.
Yeah.
100%.
I would not let him in my house.
Yeah.
If he was my ex, I'm sorry. No.
And
Go put him in
God
the
love
garage
her.
or
You know,
something, but-
her mom and the stepdad
Yeah.
for his like. I don't know if I was a stepdad, I'd be like, "Where's that motherfucker at?"
Yeah. If I was the stepdad, he would have been flushed a long time ago, and it'd be some cornflakes in there. You guys would have never known.
yeah, my mom and my stepdad are saints, and I thank God for them, because if it wasn't for them, I would be hard in addiction somewhere.
No,
you know.
yeah. You'd probably have more hate. It would be
And now you just have the isms.
Yes.
right.
We're working on it.
Yes. Because I never wanted to put my mom through everything that she went through with my dad and my sister. And that was the biggest thing, is I was never going to do that to her.
Is your sister open about her addiction?
She is.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm saying that is because I'm hoping I don't have to cut this part out. Right?
No.
Because
I'm hoping to get her on.
No, you and me both.
Yeah, she probably would.
Yeah. It's the middle, Samantha, that's the one that has the problem coming. God bless it.
No, I think Samantha would be open to it. I think they all would. I think it would be, they would,
It don't matter.
Yeah.
It's Sarah. It's all in
think
God's
they
hands
would,
at this
yeah.
point, right? I mean, how did you get? And I think we're at the good point where I can go to this. So through all that, what made you get into helping addicts?
So I went to school initially to be a probation officer.
Okay.
And it's funny, I didn't want to be anything like my dad, and I chose everything that my dad loved.
Yeah.
And so I have my AA and my bachelor's in criminal justice, and I went that route for a little bit, and was going to get on with Stanislaus probation. I was going through all the background, all the testing, and all that, and then something just kept telling me, "Don't do this," and it wasn't my time to do it. And so I withdrew my name from the position, and I took a job at a drug and alcohol facility. And I think at that time, my daughter was just a baby. I wasn't ready to leave her yet because all of the training was down south. And so I think that was kind of my excuse. And
From the criminal,
from the probation side of it, all the training was down south, and I wasn't ready to leave my baby because my husband and I were always told we couldn't have kids, and so she's my gift from God.
Surprise.
Yep.
Here you go.
Yep. She's my gift from God. So I wasn't ready to be away from her yet, and so I got into the field, and I got hired just as a driver, just driving people to their appointments.
Quite a bit different in salary and payroll
100%.
between probation and driving people.
Yep, 100%. But I just felt like this is where I needed to be. And so I worked.
Hold on a second. Talk about God going, nope. Plop.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And so I worked my way up from there and became a drug and alcohol counselor. And at that point, I felt like I needed to help people, and especially help kids that didn't have the help that we had growing up.
Do you tell your story to them very often?
Very little.
Okay.
Yeah, very little. I've been in the field for 6 years now, and I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Probation's always there if I want to do probation. But
Isn't it rewarding?
It is.
To see him come in I mean, Rob and I talk about this all the time, right? To see him come in completely broken, right? We don't get it like you get it. We get it, they come in broke and not knowing what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
Right? And to see them, and I'm talking older guys, younger guys, and guys with 20 years of sobriety go back out and come back in. That brokenness.
I've had homeless guys.
Right.
I've got to be a part of. God's allowed me to be a part of a lot.
I turn 4 tomorrow. To literally tomorrow. We're recording this on April 11th.
Yeah, I got it, but he don't fucking get that till tomorrow.
He ain't giving me no fucking front. He literally gives me. Where the fuck was I going? You just distracted me.
No, you got 4 years.
Watching.
The men we get to watch.
The men we get to watch come in, and even women, but we hang out with a lot of our men's group, and that is such a rewarding job. And you know what's funny is
and heartbreaking sometimes.
You know what's so funny is how many times I've heard men that they get sober for less than 3 months, and all of a sudden they want to go be a counselor. Right? It happens a lot. It happens a lot.
Right now.
And it's like you haven't even done your steps yet. And now
even if you have, you're green. You're wet behind the ears.
It happens so often. And how many of those people end up going relapsing, right?
A lot of them. Most of them.
Right. So I mean, I'm not trying to talk bad about it, but the reward of helping, the reward of having to help somebody and what you're doing, it is got to give you some relief, knowing that you're helping, right? because you couldn't help your dad, you're helping these guys, right? So,
Well, there was nowhere there to help you.
right.
And
That's it.
That's I think selfishly that's where it started.
That's
Right.
what's at.
Nobody
It's
was
not
there
selfish,
to help me.
though.
It's not selfish. I don't think
Okay.
so.
I
don't think
you're
so
filling
either.
a void that you didn't have.
Right.
For
It's
someone
not-
that doesn't have it, but now they
Right.
do, that's a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And then that person can go.
Yeah,
So
I
you're
don't-
starting something. You're breaking the chain. That's a gift.
Yeah. Breaking the chain's a good point, right? Yeah.
And
It's
I got that a lot when I started being a counselor. You know, what the fuck can you teach me? You never done drugs and alcohol.
right.
So I would get that a lot, and then I said, yeah, I get that, but I've been there and I've been where you're at.
I've been on the other side and watched it.
I've watched it and I came out of it.
Right.
So if you want to learn how to come out of it, I'm here to help.
Right.
So I would call myself a cycle breaker, because I was going to break the chains of addiction within myself and for my daughter, because she has it on both sides of the family.
Wow.
Not just with my genetics, but my husband's genetics as well. And so I just never want her to have to know what this life is about. And for any of them, for my nieces and nephew.
But if they do, there's a way out.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a place to go.
Yeah.
There's help to be had.
And so, it's cool because I've worked both sides of it. I've worked, with county-run facilities, people homeless coming off the streets and all of that, and then to where I'm at now with, private insurance. So,
Fishing and
yeah, I mean, we're on a resort, and it's the moment I walked in there, it was the change that I needed, and I felt like it was home, and I absolutely.
I need to come out. I speak
Well,
at Maynard's a lot.
I have a
I
question.
would love to come up there and speak.
because I went to Maynard's as well. And if you're an alumni, you can actually go back for over a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can come back and you can talk, but you can stay there.
Okay.
They're for free, and they just let you because they enjoy that. You have the same thing.
Not
Can
so
I
much.
don't? Can I? Can I?
Not,
Can
you
I
wanna run it real?
volunteer for the weekend?
So we do have people that come back and volunteer and who end up working with us. And
Because I think when I retire, which I could retire in a year and a half, I'm gonna start taking some classes. Might as well, I do it anyway. I mean, man, I sponsor.
You'd be an amazing
I
counselor.
can get
Rob would be an
paid
amazing
part time to do
counselor.
that.
hell yeah. Yeah, come. We had a guy who just taught groups. Didn't carry a caseload, just came and taught groups.
That's what Chris does at Maynard's. Same thing.
Yeah.
But I like the one-on-one too, though.
Yeah.
But on that other side of that, if it hadn't have been, so Chris does not carry caseloads whatsoever, but Chris is the one that literally saved
Well, he
my
used to. Well, he
life.
carried when I was there. He did.
Yeah, he didn't. And yeah, anyways, he's the one that saved my life. So,
Mine too.
yeah. Sarah, I don't know, baby, you got anything? No, hold on. Let me start with you, Sarah. Anything left in there?
I mean, there's so much.
Well,
but,
we got all day, hon. We got all day.
yeah. I mean, what else you want to know?
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm not trying to pry. I'm not trying to go deep. I mean, I think their listeners got a very good idea of what you and your sisters
Remember,
went through.
we can always come back.
Right. I mean, we still, you know what? Listen, I'm not saying this as but as I said from the very beginning, this story between you three girls, what it can do for anybody else out there, right? And I said it to you, this isn't about you, right? It's not about Rob, it's not about Bonnie, it's not about Katie, and sure the hell ain't about me. You know, this started because of
Can't
a friend
do
of
that,
mine,
'cause then
I know,
I'm gonna
a
lose
friend
it.
of mine lost his son to the same addiction, right? What? Yeah, well, I don't want to say his name. It's the reason why this podcast started. And I don't want anybody to suffer that, right? I want to help as many people as we can. This podcast came to me in a vision in Texas, right? After learning about my friend's son passing. And I couldn't help my friend understand why he couldn't help his son.
But I get that because that's scary when because of how close he was with pills and his
Right.
addiction. I've always gone the opposite with it. So pills scare me.
Right.
And I never, because I know I'm either all in or all out.
Right.
And so my daughter, when I had her, she was an unexpected C-section. And I didn't take any pain pills with her because I was just so afraid that it would turn me. And after I had her, I had really, really, really bad postpartum depression. But I kept pushing and kept going through because of my family.
Right.
And I was in school at the time, and I had her. I was at Stan State getting my bachelor's. I was in an accelerated program, so I had her 2 weeks after the semester ended, and then went back to school about 3 weeks after I had her. And
Wow.
yeah, so and luckily a lot of my stuff was online too. So yeah, just scared of pills, you know. And,
and I can see that, right? I've talked to other people that the same way that they get scared of pills, and it's, you know, and then there's the people that you know, that's just because, you know, let's look at this for a minute. I'm sorry, I may end up not cutting this because these are very real conversations. Because, you know, when Tiger Woods just had his accident and rolled over, and he found the Percocets in his pockets and that kind of stuff, and I can remember listening to the announcer. The guy talking, I don't remember where it was at, but it says that, you know, he's had so many surgeries that he's had to, you know, this is just where his lifestyle's at. He has to take these because his life is full of pain. And I'm like, fuck, is this where I'm going to fucking end up? You know, and I don't want that, right? I don't. And it's a fucking miserable place to be. And it's just like, you know, here's this guy with all this fucking money that he could have a surgery wherever he wants. You know, is he saying that he's in pain just so everybody makes it okay that he's taking the fucking pills? Correct, right? And I know that. But man, do I check my fucking self when I hear that kind of shit, because it's like, I don't want this shit. I don't want this. But fuck, when I hear that, I got to go, you know what I mean? It's this, you know, and I know how those pills can just be so quick. They can. And I keep her involved. I keep as many people, I keep these guys involved as much as I can. And because it's redundant at some point, it's redundant, right? Oh my God, Larry's having another fucking surgery. But I mean, fuck.
I mean, we go back to what we've coped with for a lifetime,
right?
If we don't truly get through it, and work through it,
and all of this is stemming back from a wreck I had in 1988, right? Due to alcoholism. So be it. And I don't know, man. I don't know how much of this I'm going to cut, but there's some important stuff in there, because I think it's extremely important. We talk about 90% of this podcast is alcohol, right? And I had you getting hot, Bonnie? You
having a flash. Ignore me.
You know, 90% of this is alcohol, and I think talking about the pills,
it's addiction. It's everything.
It is, and you know, and you know, and I said this from the very beginning. I felt that I did your dad wrong, you know, when we were there, but I was at the precipice of mine and he was in his, right? And
let's be honest, he was not a nice person to get
he was a little different, right?
You know?
And hey, we had our clique, right? And we had our clique at that point. When he came in, we had a pretty thick clique of coaches around there. And he was an outsider, and you know, and it was bad. And then, you know, as I gotten sober, and when somebody brought your name up a while back and told me where you're at, I'm like, oh my God, all that came rushing and flushing back, or you know, back into me, and everything. And I'm like, I got to get her on here.
And I think that's what led me away too, is because of how, you know, you knew him, you know, and that's scary.
I watched a lot.
Yeah, and that's scary.
I watched a lot. I mean, I could tell some stories that you don't need to hear that would go, huh. You know, they're just shocking stories. I mean, I've watched some shocking things, and it's just, and it's just, a man in addiction is brutal to watch. Yeah. Anyways, we're rambling now, Sarah. I absolutely, Rob and I and Bonnie and Katie were blessed that you came here. Our listeners are blessed that you came here. What God has done to bring you here has been nothing but short of a miracle. Thank you very much for coming on here. I pray that your sisters will come on here.
Oh, I know they would.
Yeah, I think that putting the three of them together back to back to back would be amazing.
But if we get them, we get them. And then
Rob, and I understand that, right? I get it. I think so many people are going to want to hear the rest of it. But like Rob says, it is what it is. But I'm the salesman of the group here, you know. So I'm still.
There's so much. There's
a lot.
There's so
much. Same way with my two daughters. I mean, there was a lot. Miranda said a lot that I never heard, and McKenna said a lot that I never heard. But they would have never said it together in the same same building.
They lived in the same house and saw things differently.
100%
Very
differently.
It's crazy how you see things. Like two people in the same exact house going through the same exact thing will come up with such different perspectives
Oh
of
yeah,
it.
very much so. And I think that's what's so great about the family roles is how each of us saw his addiction and how each of us took that. You know, with Melissa and her addiction, and she's just celebrated 15 years sober.
That's rough.
Last Saturday, 15 years sober.
Nice.
And
God damn it, I want her on here.
yeah,
Do you know? Does she go to meetings still?
she's very involved with CBC.
You gonna stalk her?
And-
You gonna go show up at her meeting?
Shut up, Bonnie.
He is. He's gonna
Go
stalk
back.
her, and he's gonna go show up at her meeting.
Go back to your
So,
heat stroke over there, would you?
She's
Throat punch is coming too,
It
fucker.
was behind the ears. I had to take them off. I could feel it starting to beat up
creep
back
up,
there.
Yeah. She's very involved with CBC. She goes to Celebrate Recovery there.
Okay. Did she get sober through Celebrate Recovery?
She did. So she went to an outpatient treatment in Modesto that's no longer there, and but very much got sober through Celebrate Recovery
Really?
and AA.
We definitely need that one on here.
And AA.
And AA, very much.
Both. Like,
Awesome.
Yeah, the
Put that out there.
the Turlock, one of the Turlock fellowships,
Great
her and I
fellowships.
would go to all
Right.
the time.
I've heard a lot of good things. I've never been over there.
There's great fellowships over there.
We ought to take a trip over there. The
I-
men's group.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got sober through there and then met her husband in the rooms, and he's 15 years sober from meth. And
They both live around here?
oh yeah,
Oh, that's right, you
Yeah,
said
we
it.
all live in Waterford. Yeah, parents actually just live up the hill right here, and yeah, Mel's around the corner, and then Samantha's around the corner from them, and we're around the corner from
Tell them to
Sam.
walk their ass over here. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So yeah, it's they all have a great stories. And
We'll get it.
Yeah.
Stop yawning.
Sorry.
Fucker.
So yeah, I'm more than certain they would all come on.
Sarah, I'm blessed. Thank you. We are blessed.
Thank you.
We are blessed. God love you. I hope this helped.
It did. Yeah,
it?
very much so. It's crazy that I didn't really have a lot of anxiety coming into it.
You let it go. You let your
Yeah.
fear go.
Yeah,
But
and that's the biggest
think
thing
about
is
the
the
letter.
fear.
I think
That letter is
Yeah,
huge.
it's coming, and I think with the help of my coworker, it'll come a lot faster.
I think what Rob said, and just right, dear Dad. Dear Dad.
and go.
Yeah,
It'll pour.
and I feel like if I do it now compared to the holidays, because November, December are usually kind of a wreck for all of
Right.
us. You know, with him passing the day after Thanksgiving, his birthday is New Year's Eve.
Wow.
My grandma, my mom's parents, my grandma died of cancer on New Year's Eve, and my grandpa passed of his cancer on New Year's
Wow.
Day. So those
You got some stuff.
yeah, those months are really hard for us. So during those times, it's hard to put pen to paper.
Yeah.
You know?
Good thing it's only April.
Yeah. See, but then my procrastination, I'm like,
No, no.
we're
And it's
April,
only
we're
Saturday.
good, we're good.
It's only Saturday.
April's good.
It's only Saturday. We have
Yeah.
time.
So I'm very, very grateful for you guys and for Stephanie for giving
Yeah,
me that
God loves Steph.
that gentle nudge.
Was it really? Steph was gentle?
It was. She was a gentle nudge. Yeah.
I told her to be hard on you. I was like,
Steph knows best. She knows her friend.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Stephanie, and you know, she's like, you know, whenever you're ready, here's Larry's number, and I'm like, I got.
I already got it.
I got it. You know.
and Larry has his,
Yes.
hers.
And so.
And I was ghosting him. Damn it.
And she goes, you know, you can do this. You know, whenever you're ready, you can do this. And then so she actually thought it was last Saturday, and she was like, okay, I'm thinking about you today.
Right.
And I was like, thank you, I appreciate that, but it's next Saturday. And so her and I have kind of been texting on and off this week, and she's like, you can do this, you know, and
The best part is these guys were all mad at me because I threw an extra recording day in. We're recording Saturday. They're like, Katie was like, why are we just? I'm like, because I ain't letting her get a fucking way. I'm doing this shit before she changes her mind.
So when, I had just finished listening to Stephanie's newest episode, and then when you guys had mentioned me, I was working out and I was listening to it, and I was like, well, fuck no, I gotta do this now. So
I got called out.
yep. And so I was like, okay, I just need a few minutes of being
Right.
brave. And so when I texted you and I was like, okay, this is me being brave.
You
I can
did.
do this.
You literally what she said.
Yeah. And you pretty much text me back instantly.
Oh, I had my hand on my phone.
Yeah. And I'm like,
My phone in my hand.
now I got to do this. And so when you said, okay, Sunday, April 12th, I was like, well, shit, he's not giving me any chance.
No.
And so, you know.
Hey, listen, you got to remember, I'm a salesman. Above all things, I'm a salesman, and I know how to close a deal.
Yeah.
You chop the head off before they have a chance to run away.
Yes. And so, you know, I work tomorrow. And so when you said, okay, we're doing it Saturday, I'm like, well, I don't think I have any plans. And if I do, they're getting canceled.
Right.
You know, this is.
I wanted it.
And so I kept thinking, like, okay, you know, should I keep going through with this? Should I bail out? And I was like, no, I can't bail out. I can't do that because then I'm a quitter and I can't quit.
Right.
You know, and that goes back to all of
Dad
it.
will yell at you.
Exactly.
Dad will yell at you.
That box will start shaking on the shelf. After.
Yes. When I go to my mom's house, something will fly out of that room. You know?
Your old room, the Ziploc is exploding.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's funny because, you know, my parents, you know, usually when the kids spend the night, they're either in the living room or they're in my parents' room. And there's, you know, 3 other bedrooms down at the end of the hallway. And so they're slowly turning that in. And I think they're going to redo my old room into the kids'
Playroom.
You know, well, they have a playroom but they're going to put a bed in there. So I'm like, well, I think now we probably got to do something with Dad because.
I tell you what, you get
Yeah.
your other 2 sisters on here, then when you're all 3 done, then you guys can go do something with Dad.
And I think, you know, for so long our excuses, just life gets in the way, you know.
That's not true,
But
though.
I know. Yeah, but
Well, let's be honest.
No, it's
call
true
me,
fact.
yeah, call me on the bullshit, you
Right,
know, and
right.
because I can bullshit all day, but I know deep down it's because I wasn't ready, we weren't ready. I'm sure, you know, they are, but I definitely needed this to just let go and just
Well, to
Yeah.
start moving
Time
towards
it-
some closure.
Right,
Yes,
right.
'cause for God's
Yeah.
sakes, 18 years
Yes.
enough is enough.
Right, right.
You know,
Nope,
because
100%.
God, all of that just manifested into everything.
And here's one thing to think about, and I could be wrong. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist, but you may be carrying enough of that to where when you get rid of it, your kids are going to notice that something different in you, right? Because
Well,
you're
definitely.
carrying something still in there. And when your kids are going to notice, I don't know what made me think of that, but you're still carrying something. You're going to feel it. And when you're feeling good about yourself, people around you, it's just,
Right.
it's infectious, right?
Right.
Your kids are going to feel it. Your husband's
But
going to
more
feel it.
importantly, it shows them we don't have to carry this bullshit.
Right. How old are your kids?
I just have one. I have a daughter. She's going to be 9 in May.
Oh my gosh, she's right there.
Yeah,
She's
and-
right where you were at.
Yeah, and
How to actually process
wow.
life.
and that girl, my husband is half Portuguese, and I'm not Portuguese, but my stepdad came from the Azores, and so we're Portuguese by association.
Right.
And so my daughter,
So you're not greenhorns.
No, my daughter, we just call her. She's a little old Portuguese lady, and the things that she says are just hysterical. She's wise beyond her years. And I remember when I moved to where I work now, I didn't realize how much my old job affected her because of how busy I was,
Okay.
and I was constantly on my phone. And so when I moved over to this where I'm at now, she was like, "Mommy, you're not on your phone as much." And she was like, you're here.
Right.
And I didn't realize like how much that affected her.
Right.
And then so, you know, she knows when I'm not okay. You know, I still struggle with anxiety and panic attacks, and they're few and far between now, but I actually experienced a panic attack about a few weeks ago.
they're
And
miserable.
God, they're horrible. Horrible.
miserable.
So because of how we were raised, I hate being touched. I don't like people in my bubble because everybody's a threat to me. And, you know, I got to keep my shield up. And so I hate being touched. But when I'm having a panic attack, I need that huge, intense pressure. And so I remember I texted my husband, and he was on his way home from his parents' house with our daughter. And I was like, hurry up, come home. Get Paisley settled in because I had to, you know, I don't want her to see the emotions.
Right.
Oh, wow.
And he just squeezed me for like a good 20, 30 minutes. And And then I finally calmed down, and then I came out of my bedroom, and Paisley, God love her, she's just like, Mom, you're good. You know, she was like, shake it out, you know, you're okay. Take some deep breaths. And I forget how intuitive she is.
Oh, God.
And how I've always taught her to feel her feelings, and because we couldn't feel our feelings,
Right.
you know, especially if they were negative or whatever, unless we were winning, don't show your feelings.
Right.
So I never wanted her to be like that. So, you know, I'm always getting to her level and showing her feelings. And then she calls me on things in her little Portuguese way.
That's awesome.
And
God, you're doing for her what your dad couldn't do for you.
Yeah.
And God love you for everything you're doing, Sarah. You know, it's amazing to, you know what, everybody wants happy endings, right? And what you're doing is, like you said, you're a cycle breaker and you're a chain breaker, and you're doing that. So that's a happy ending, right? We're moving in a
100%.
different way. And all this, and you know, this podcast, whatever, if it gives you girls closures and it helps another person, God answered, right? God answered. So awesome. Thank you so much for being
you
here.
for
Rob,
having
once
me.
again, I love you. Bonnie, Katie, you're the best. Shut it out, girl.
Thank you for listening to the Recovery Unfiltered podcast. If you'd like to reach out to us, please email us at recoveryunfilteredpodcast@gmail.com.